NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl.
To the end zone. What a play.
It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Catterall does it again. Look at the emotion.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
Dynamic air suspension, all-wheel steering, configurable terrain response, effortless in the extreme.
We got two suspects, Lowry and Burnett.
We are being framed.
You set the damn van on fire.
Relax, the fire's on the outside. Now it's on the inside. Still going bad.
What the hell are you doing?
I fight crime, Mike. Y'all are some terrible fugitives.
Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Call 911. Aren't you the police?
Exclusively in cinemas.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Switch close.
How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys! Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good news. We are now just one sleep away. It's Taylor Catterall 2 weigh-in day in Leeds. The fighters prepare to face the scales and face each other for the final time until they meet in the ring tomorrow night from the First Direct Arena, live on DAZN in the UK and around the world, and exclusively on ESPN Plus in the United States. Jamie Ward here alongside me, as always, my wingman, former IBF World Middleweight Champion, Mr. Darren Barker. Darren, we've been talking about this fight for so long, but especially this week, the talking is very nearly over. We can't wait. The crowd here today for the weigh-in in Leeds can't wait. It's nearly go time, and this is the day we make it all official.
One more sleep. I mean, what a fight we have in store for us. I've no doubt that this is round 13. They know each other now, so usually that will bring out the best. They know what they've got to do. It's going to deliver. They've just got to make the weight, which I'm sure they both will, but what a fight. What a fight.
Yesterday's face-off was long, but silent. We remember the face-off from the weigh-in for their first fight. It was straight in with the heads. The hands were raised. As we always say, as that weight comes down, you expect today's face-off to be that bit more fiery.
Yeah, I think, look, the weigh-ins are a bit more vibrant. There's a lot of emotions flying around. You've lost the weight. That's hard. There's that elation from making the weight, which I'm sure they both will. So, yeah, there'll be tempers will be a little flared. It's the last time they can get their little mind games in before the fight. But, yeah, it will be a cracker.
And a lot of it has been made of the weight. How intrigued are you to see the condition of both on the scales here?
Look, it's going to be tough, no doubt, but they're both extremely experienced, and it'd be interesting to see if that plays a part on fight night.
Well, let's give you all at home A little reminder of tomorrow's order of play from the First Direct Arena in Leeds, and a little reminder of the order of play for today's weigh-in. 7 fights to look forward to here on DAZN and ESPN+. We begin with our usual Before the Bell segment, 5:45 p.m. from the First Direct Arena here in Leeds. 19-year-old super welterweight Leili Buttigieg continues his professional journey. He's in with Anas Asati over 6 rounds. The Billericay bomber 6-0 George Liddard steps up to 8 rounds against Limerick's Graham McCormack. Before we cross live to the DAZN broadcast, 7 p.m. usual time, and live in the United States, as I say, on ESPN+. 2-0, 2 KOs. Giorgio Vizioli meets Sergio Odabai over 6 lightweight rounds. Gary Cully then fights former European champion Francesco Patera over 10 lightweight rounds for the WBA Continental 135 pounds title. Andy Lee trained Paddy Donovan looks to move 14-0 in the sternest test of his professional journey. Newcastle favourite Lewis Ritson is back on the big stage, looking to halt the real deal. So perfect start, 10 rounds that one for the WBO Continental welterweight title. Cruiserweight British title action as well. Chev Clark finally lands his shot at the Lord Lonsdale belt. He's in, of course, with Ellis Zorro. And your main event, need we say any more? It's Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall 2, the rematch. Hate runs deep, and we cannot wait. I am hearing we are just about ready to get today's weigh-in underway. Here is our master of ceremonies for this afternoon, our very own Mr. David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to see everybody here today, and it's finally here. It's the rematch. We've got a great fight card. We're in Leeds, England. It's a 7-fight card, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, Stagefront, Everlast, Forged Irish Stout, Riyadh Season, and Drip. All the action will go out live around the world exclusively on DAZN. And like I said, 7 fights on the card. We got 3 title fights, but ladies and gentlemen, we all know why we're here. The main event, it's the rematch, 2 southpaws. It's Taylor versus Catterall 2. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Now making his way to the stage, he fights out of Brussels, Belgium. Professional record 4-2. Please welcome Anas Asati. And his opponent, now making his way to the stage, 3-0 with 1 knockout. He's the 4-time amateur national champion, fighting out of Newham, London. Please welcome the Maltese monster, Leili Buttigieg. Now to the scale, Anas Asati. 156.8 for Anas Asati. 156.8. And now to the scale, the Maltese monster, Leili Buttigieg. 157.6 for Leili Buttigieg. 157.6.
Well, Emmanuel Darren Leili Buttigieg there, 19 years of age. 3 fights in now, 1 coming inside the distance on his professional debut in December. This is second 6-rounder. His 4th fight in 5 months as well. In tomorrow with Anas Asati, who people will remember, Janae Bostan stopped in the final moments of their fight. No doubt, when comparisons are made, Leili will be looking to go one better.
Absolutely, of course he will, and I don't mind that. I like
Buttigieg versus Asati, 6 rounds, super welterweights, Matchroom Boxing, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Yeah, look forward to seeing Leili back in the ring tomorrow night. Fight number 4 for him. Buttigieg versus Asati, 5:45 p.m. from Leeds. Kicks off before the bell. Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels, of course, where the man to my right has really cemented his role as lead commentator, haven't you, over the last year or so?
You know what? And I love it. I love the platform that it offers these young fighters.
It's important.
Yeah, very important. It's a stepping stone for them to get on the main card and creep up the card to get to that main event stage. It helps, and yeah, I buzz because I was there once upon a time.
Well, the next fighters are ready to conclude before the bell. It will be the return of the Billericay bomber, George Liddard. Back to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, 8 rounds in the middleweight division. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 9 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw with 1 win, coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Limerick, Ireland. Please welcome the G-Train, Graham McCormick. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, undefeated, 6-0 with 3 knockouts. Also a 4-time amateur national champion. He fights out of Billericay, Essex. Please welcome the Billericay bomber, George Liddard. Now to the scale, Graham McCormick. 162.3 for Graham McCormick. 162.3 for the G-Train. And now to the scale, the Billericay bomber, George Liddard. $162.3 for George Liddard. 162.3.
George Liddard 6-0 now with 3 knockouts, 21 years of age. This fight tomorrow is first scheduled 8-rounder with Limerick's Graham McCormack, who is 9-3-1, a southpaw, the first southpaw of George's young professional career as well, Darren, and it's always an important moment. Although he'd have fought many in the amateurs, it's the first box to tick as a professional.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he'll be paying much notice to it, if I'm honest. He'll get in there with anyone who loves a fight. Brilliant talent.
Liddard versus McCormack, 8 rounds, middleweights, matchroom boxing, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
I think he'll be eager, Darren, to get back on the knockout train. His first 3 fights, he looked really impressive, didn't he? Won all 3 inside the distance. Last 3 have gone the scheduled distances, and he can be a little bit overly critical of himself at times.
And you want to hear that. You know, you want to bet yourself. You've got to remember the nature of this sport's very difficult, so you're trying to perfect it every single time. Brilliant outing last time in Vegas. What an experience, and yeah, he's got a brilliant future in front of him.
Remember your first southpaw? All the way back in 2005.
Because you've done your homework and showed me.
I did. I know. Well, Darren, I think, stopped him in 4 rounds that night. Many thought Lee was unlucky not to get the nod. I think a few things went in Darren's favour that night. But like we say, a good chance for George to tick that box, and it is as well a big opportunity for Giorgio Visioli, who's going to hit the scales next. First time for him on the live broadcast, and what a platform. But he's earned it, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. What a fighter. What a talent he is.
Let's go back to David to bring him up.
Ladies and gentlemen, next contest, 6 rounds in the lightweight division. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 6 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Vienna, Austria. Please welcome Sergio Xerxes Odabai. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He's 2-0. Both of his wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Aldershot, Hampshire. Please welcome Giorgio Visioli. Now to the scale, Sergio Odabai. $136.5 for Xerxes, Sergio Odabai. And now to the scale, the undefeated Giorgio Visioli. $134.1 for Giorgio Visioli. 134.1.
Well, this man, Giorgio Viziali, got the memo, didn't he, Darren, from Eddie Hearn about needing to excite in the early stage of your professional journey. 2 copy and paste knockouts in his first 2 professional fights. Sonny Edwards, of course, joined us yesterday, a big part of the team, and believes Giorgio can go all the way. And we said, what do you want from him tomorrow? And he said, rounds. Can you see where he's coming from? Or at this stage, Giorgio, I imagine, will just want to make it 3 from 3.
I get where Sonny's coming from, but let me tell you now, Giorgio will try and follow up exactly what he's done. He'll be trying to get the finish again. And he's exactly what a young fighter should be watching out for, showing that speed generates power. You don't need to be loading up. What's a fighter?
Viziali versus Odabai, 6 rounds, lightweight, matchroom boxing, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Yep, Giorgio Viziali back on the big stage once again, opening the live DAZN and ESPN broadcast. 7 p.m. tomorrow, 6 rounds, lightweights, and no stranger either to the big stage, as he made his professional debut. The small matter of the 3 arena on the Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron rematch undercard, and that arena in Dublin is a special place, and it's quite similar in terms of how it looks and style to the First Direct Arena here in Leeds.
Yeah, and you're right, he's taken it all in his stride. He's a very confident young man. You can see why. A very good scored in at the Repton Amateur Boxing Club, and he's transferred that skill, class and confidence into the pro ranks.
Talking of being no stranger to the big stage, Gary Cully, certainly no stranger to the big stage as well. Here is David on the stage now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the first of our 3 title fights, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Kerkis OPI since '82, are proud to present 10 rounds for the vacant Continental WBA Lightweight Championship. And now making his way to the stage is professional record, 29 victories, 4 defeats. He has 11 wins coming by way of knockout. This full-blooded Italian fights out of Genk, Belgium. Here is the former 2-time European champion and the former WBO Global Lightweight champion, Francesco Patera. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, 17 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Naas, County Kildare, Ireland. Here is the former Irish national champion, the former WBA Intercontinental champion, and the reigning WBA Continental European Lightweight champion. Here is the Diva, Gary Cully. Now to the scale, Francesco Patera. $134.1 for Francesco Patera, 134.1. And now to the scale, the Diva, Gary Cully. Also 134.1, identical, 134.1 for the Diva, Gary Cully.
Both fighters, Darren, weighing in inside the 135 pounds weight limit, both looking in great condition on the scales there as well. Gary Cully says he feels alive again, that he's back on track, enjoying his boxing. But he'll need to turn that into a good performance tomorrow against a very competent former European champion with a lot of ambition in Francesco Patera.
Oh, I think this is brilliant matchmaking. Really, really like this fight. Both looking good on the scales. And it's a must-win. If you want to push on to big, meaningful titles, this is a must-win fight. Brilliant, brilliant matchmaking. 2 very good fighters.
Gary Cully, Francesco Patera, 10 rounds for the vacant WBA Continental Lightweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing in association with OPI since '82, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Yeah, just one defeat in his last 12 for the Belgian, Francesco Patera. That came to Keyshawn Davis. Never been stopped, but Cully says he'll light up the First Direct Arena here in Leeds tomorrow night. And Darren, when you think about when he was headed into 2023, he had so much momentum behind him. Eddie Hearn was talking about him as a real potential superstar. That hasn't gone away, but it did take a slight detour when he lost against Jose Felix, had to do a lot of soul searching, came back on the same slot, chief support in Dublin once again. And although he didn't beat Jose Felix, but he beat a good fighter in Reece Mould. Will he have learned a lot about his mentality last year?
Absolutely. He exercised some demons, that's for sure. He got the win, he was disciplined, shown us again that he's still a very good fighter. And look, a defeat shouldn't derail you, and it hasn't. The mental toughness is still there, so the career of Gary Cully is well and truly back on track.
From one good fight, straight into another. Here's David.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the second of our 3 title fights, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Welterweight Championship. And now please welcome to the stage the challenger. His professional record, 23 victories against 3 defeats, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former British and former WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion, proudly fighting out of Forest Hall, Newcastle, Lewis, the Sandman Ritson. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, a perfect one. 13 fights, 13 victories, with 10 of his 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Limerick, Ireland. Here is the reigning, defending, and undefeated WBA Continental Welterweight Champion. Please welcome the real deal, Paddy Donovan. And out of the scale, the challenger, the Sandman, Lewis Ritson. 146.8 for the Geordie, 146.8 for the Sandman, Lewis Ritson. And out of the scale, the undefeated real deal from Limerick, Ireland, Paddy Donovan. 145.4 for the defending champion, Paddy, the real deal Donovan.
By his trainer, that man there on the stage, former world champion Andy Lee in the house this afternoon. Lewis Ritson looks healthy though, up at 147 pounds. Back to prove he still has a seat at the top table. This is a good fight and an intriguing fight and a good test at this stage, certainly for Paddy Donovan.
Yes, it really is a good fight. How much is left of Ritson? We know the talent, we know the skill of Paddy Donovan, and they're both fired up.
Paddy Donovan, Lewis Ritson, 10 rounds for the WBA Continental Welterweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Well, it's been fairly respectful, Darren, between these two, but like we were just saying there, as that weight comes down, things get a little bit more touchy. Don't mind seeing that at all.
Nah, not at all. You wouldn't expect it from those two, but it just shows you what this fight, what this platform means to both of them. For them to push on, Ritson can't afford to slip up Donovan. He wants that name to be shone brightly as it has done so far. It's a brilliant, brilliant fight.
I was talking to Lewis, he predicts a body shot knockout. Saw the first sign of vulnerability, he says, in Paddy Donovan's last fight. But do you think you can make too much of that? Paddy did take that fight on short notice and ultimately still got the job done.
Yeah, he ticked the box, so I don't look into it too much.
Well, the next fight is already chief support time, British title action in Leeds tomorrow night. Here's David.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the chief support of the evening, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions, are proud to present 12 rounds for the vacant British Cruiserweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 17 victories, 1 defeat, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Lewisham. Please welcome the former WBO European Cruiserweight Champion, Ellis Zorro. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, a perfect one. 8 fights, 8 victories, with 6 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Gravesend, Kent. Please welcome the reigning and undefeated WBA Intercontinental and the IBF International Cruiserweight Champion. Please welcome Big Chev, Siobhan C4 Clark. Now to the scale, Ellis Zorro. 198.6 for Ellis Zorro. 198.6. And now to the scale, please welcome the undefeated C4, Siobhan Clark. 199.3 for Siobhan C4 Clark.
We have a fight, Darren. Both fighters weighing in inside the cruiserweight limit. That is the main thing. Chev Clark finally gets his shot at the British title. Has felt like the avoided man. Ellis Zorro, of course, coming off defeat to Jai Opataya. 2 men for different reasons with different points to prove.
A great domestic cruiserweight British title fight. This is a great fight for the fans. Styles will gel in this, no doubt. Chev has looked so good. Zorro got a point to prove after that defeat last time out. Great fight.
Siobhan Clark versus Ellis Zorro. 12 rounds for the vacant British Cruiserweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing in association with Queensberry Promotions, live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Yep, can't wait for this one. Vacant British Cruiserweight title on the line. Chev Clark quite menacingly spoke to us earlier this week and said, look, it's the hurt game. He's a nice guy outside the ring, but he's licensed to do things in that ring, and he takes great pleasure in doing so.
Yeah, you see him in the ring. He's always got that bit between his teeth, wants to put damage in his opponent, and you need that sort of mindset going into big fights like this when it could get tough. It really is a good fight. Like I say, Ellis Zorro's got a point to prove. No shame, no disrespect in any way for losing the way he did to a very good fighter. So yeah, a lot on the line here, Jamie.
Well, it is that time. Let's weigh in the main event for the final time this afternoon. Here is David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here to Leeds, England, for the official weigh-in of our big night of World Championship Professional Boxing taking place here on Saturday night. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening. As Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, are proud to present the rematch. 12 rounds of boxing in the super lightweight division. Now making his way to the stage, please welcome to the stage with a professional record of 28 victories, 1 defeat. He has 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He's a southpaw fighting out of Chorley, England. Here is the reigning WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion, El Gato, Catterall. And now, please welcome to the stage his opponent. He's also a southpaw. His professional record, 19 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Prestonpans, Scotland, here is the former undisputed super lightweight champion of the world, the Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor. Another scale, El Gato, Jack Catterall. 139.8 for El Gato, Jack Catterall, 139.8. And now to the scale, the Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor. 139.6 for the Tartan Tornado, 139.6 for Josh Taylor.
Here's your immediate thoughts across there on the stage. Both fighters making weight. Here we go.
And both looking good, Jamie. We have a fight.
819 days on. It's the rematch. Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall 2. Hate runs deep. They meet in Centre Ring at Leeds First Direct Arena tomorrow night. But first, face to face right here on stage.
Let's hear it! Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall 2. The Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor, El Gato, Jack Catterall. Main event Saturday night. Matchroom Boxing in association with Top Rank Incorporated. Live on DAZN from Leeds, England.
Well, we are on stage here with both fighters. I know Darren's over there with Josh Taylor. I'm here with Jack Catterall, so I'll grab a word with him first. Jack, weight made. We have a fight. Tell this crowd, tell those watching at home what on earth is going through your mind right now. One sleep away, the talking very nearly done.
Yeah, that's all the talking done now. Fully focused, Saturday night, on DAZN and Matchroom, tune in. It's going to be one hell of a fight.
Came face to face there. We couldn't quite see what was being said from our angle. What were you saying to each other?
Nothing really being said. Handbags muff, we're both ready to fight now. I think that's all needs to be said.
You've said this is your opportunity to rewrite the wrong. What makes you so determined to make sure you do that tomorrow night?
All the hard work I've put in, been a long camp. I've done everything possible asked of me, and everything's ready now to turn up tomorrow and rewrite it.
When I asked you for your prediction, you said slow and painful and to leave him rendered unconscious. After everything that's happened, what's encouraged you to feel so strongly about that?
Again, all the work I've put in, I'm confident in my ability, and tomorrow night is coming back with me.
Just tell this crowd, Jack, final prediction. What happens tomorrow night?
Jack Catterall victory.
Jack Catterall, best of luck. We'll see you tomorrow. Over to you, Darren.
Yes, I am with the other half of the main event, Josh Taylor. Josh, make way one more sleep. How excited are you to put this rivalry to bed?
Hey, listen, it's just another fight week. There's another fight tomorrow night. Can't wait. All the talking's done, all the training's done. Can't wait for tomorrow now. I'm glad that it's finally here.
Is it more than just winning here? Obviously, winning the most important thing to push on and keep your career on track, but you really want to look good here to end this once and for all.
I will look good tomorrow, and I'll look good winning. I'll look good doing the job. So, yeah, I'm fully confident. I can't wait to get in there tomorrow night and put it all to bed, yeah.
And a message for the fans travelling down from Scotland?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all your continued support. Thank you for everyone that's travelled down. I really appreciate it. And to all you haters as well, thank you as well, because you give me the fire. Wait till you see tomorrow.
Final prediction, Josh?
Just a comprehensive Josh Taylor win.
All the best.
Great to hear the final words of both fighters there. We'll get Darren Barker back over. And also get the final words from the main man in the middle, Eddie Hearn. We can't wait for this, can we?
Yeah, both look really good. You know, I think Josh Taylor, people worried about how he'd look at 140. Don't forget, he was the guy who asked for 140. We expected a catch weight. Looked healthy on the scales. Jack did, as we'd expect. Both guys in their physical prime to give us a great night tomorrow night. You heard a small sample of the atmosphere in here. Wait till we're in Leeds Arena tomorrow night with 11,000. It's going to be wild, and I think we see a great all-British dust-up.
And it's a great card as well to look forward to tomorrow.
I mean, look, you know, Chev against Zorro is a great fight, of course, for the Lonsdale belt. I love Paddy Donovan against Lewis Ritson. I think it's going to be a war. Listen, look out as well for Patera against Cully. Patera can really fight. That's a tough fight for Gary Cully. Visioli's got to step up before the bell. Laley, Buttigieg as well, and George Lidard, a.k.a. Jorge Lidardo. He's ready to fight as well. But tomorrow night, we put a flag in the sand for British boxing, and we say the mega fights are back in this country, and expect a wonderful night on DAZN and a brilliant atmosphere, and I believe a great main event as well.
I think it's important we see a definitive winner and a definitive end to this story tomorrow.
They're so well matched. If the fight goes the distance, it's going to be a very close fight. I don't think anyone's going to dominate this fight in a way that it's going to be a unanimous wide decision. So expect it to be close, expect it to go down to the wire, expect it to go backwards and forth. I expect both fighters to be a lot more aggressive, particularly Josh Taylor in this fight. I think that'll suit Jack Catterall, but I think this fight will end by late stoppage. Hopefully no scorecards this time, but as long as we get a great fight, everyone will be happy.
Ed, can you imagine, let's just fast forward 30 plus hours, just before, you know, when they walk out to the middle of the ring, to the referee, they walk back to their corners, their energy in that venue just before the main event.
I think this venue promotes one of the best atmospheres in British boxing, but we've only seen it with one side, aka Leeds warrior Josh Warrington. So the entire venue has been Leeds. Now you're going to get a few thousand Scottish come down. You've got plenty of thousand from Chorley. You've got Manchester, you've got London, Dublin for the undercard as well. So put that into the anticipation of this fight. You're going to get a brilliant atmosphere tomorrow night. And I can't wait. You know, that arena, as you know, a banked arena. The ring walks are going to be special. It's a big moment for both guys. You know, you're talking about one guy's been the undisputed world champion, the other guy believes he should have been. They're both fighting for world championship honours and, more importantly, to be involved in mega fights. I don't know where the loser goes from here on the world scene. So you've got that, you've got the narrative, you've got the rivalry, you've got the history, you've got honour, and you've got the hatred. And trust me, these guys want to do bad things to each other tomorrow night. It's a great thing about boxing. We don't do it up here. You put the gloves on, the ref rings the bell, you go to war for 12 rounds, and you all shake hands after and show each other respect. But for those 36 minutes, prepare to be entertained.
Well, this is British boxing at its best. Genuine rivalry as well. Do not forget 5:45 p.m. Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels for all the before the belt action. 7 p.m. live on DAZN in the UK and around the world, and of course exclusively in the United States on ESPN+. This is Hate Runs Deep. This is Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall 2. The rematch from myself, Jamie Ward, from Darren Barker, and of course Eddie Hearn. We can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow.
He knows how it's been on Saturday. Your last ring walk.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.
It's time for a new wasteland. I want what you want.
A world of chaos.
Remember me.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. In cinemas now. Book tickets.
Sometimes running a business can feel like running a marathon. In a desert. Through quicksand. But Xero accounting software can help keep your business finances running smoothly. Soon that marathon will feel more like a fun run. On roller skates. With a jetpack. Cha-ching! Search Xero with an X because healthy business is beautiful business.
Boxing on DAZN, brought to you by William Hill.